Hey, Big Dave, the Middle-Aged Gamer here with another episode of Oblivion. And we are in Castle Bruma because the Countess wants to talk to us. And well, looky here.
It's a pleasure to see you. I've heard much about your deeds from my people in Bruma. I trust the stipend Tolgan gave you whetted your appetite.
Yes, that's why I'm here.
Good point. Allow me to formally introduce myself. I'm Countess Nerina Cavain. I assume you've noticed all the Akaviri relics I'm displaying.
No, but fascinating.
Well, it's safe to say I'm a collector of sorts. I've invested a great deal of time and money acquiring these bits of ancient history. In fact, I'd be so bold as to proclaim my collection the most complete in all Cyrodiil, perhaps even beyond. Except for one thing. A particular relic has eluded me for many years. Possessing this piece of Akaviri antiquity would make my collection complete. I'm of course referring to the Draconian Madstone. Some see only the conflicts between northern and southern cultures, but I see the way they are stronger when woven together. Legion duty here in Cyrodiil is usually a dull affair. In the east, though, things are a bit more challenging, and one can make a name for oneself.
So what exactly is the Draconian Madstone? Let's find out.
The stone is a fine bit of Akaviri craftsmanship. Worn like an amulet, this talisman is said to protect the wearer from poisons of any type.
Ooh.
The Madstone appears as a snake coiled around and encircling itself. The eyes of the snake are supposed to be precious gems or some such. Through my sources, I've learned that the last reported location of the Madstone was the ruins at Pale Pass.
Pale Pass is one of the ways into Skyrim.
Are you familiar with the history of Pale Pass?
No.
Back at the end of the First Era, raiders from the continent of Akavir attempted to gain a foothold here in Tamriel. At that time, the Empire was broken into smaller factions. Raymond Cyrodiil decided to unify them and form an army to repel the Akaviri raiders.
Bit of lore here. The Akaviri are from a continent to the east, and they are generally referred to as kind of like half-dragon or snake-like people.
The force became known as the Army of Raymond. The two armies clashed in what's now northern Cyrodiil. The Akaviri were strong and well supplied.
You know, instead of naming it Cyrodiil, why didn't they just call it the Raymond Empire? Seriously, Bethesda, missed opportunity.
But their greatest error was marching through Morrowind on the way to their objective and dismissing the response it would garner from Vivek. They didn't count on Lord Vivek forming an alliance with the Trident Kings of the Dreg. From Morrowind, he struck at their rear flank. Not only did this make the Akaviri fight on two fronts, it also cut off access to reinforcements and supplies from the sea.
So the Alliance ended the conflict?
Not quite. The army of Raymond knew that the organized Akaviri forces were commanded from a hidden post in the mountains. Rumors placed it in a snowy vale called Pale Pass. That's where Raymond focused his attention. As his forces fought their way across the Gerald Mountains, the Akaviri suddenly surrendered. It was assumed they were overwhelmed and gave up. The only strange part was that the command post and Pale Pass were never found. It was dismissed as a rumor, and the army of Raymond celebrated. It's come to my attention that the post did exist, and it happens to be the last reported location of the Draconian Madstone.
So this is fascinating.
If you retrieve the Draconian Madstone for me, I'll be happy to compensate you by rewarding you with another Akaviri artifact. Are you game?
Yes.
I had a feeling you'd accept. Good. Then let me tell you how you're going to find the Madstone.
By walking?
I've come into the possession of a diary, written by an Akaviri messenger. I suspect that the text within can lead you to the ruins. Here's a translation of the passages we could still read. It was quite damaged. I've also included a rough map that was drawn in the diary as well. I'm also providing you with a unique key that was supposedly found with the diary. I'm assuming it'll prove useful when you arrive at the site. I paid several scouts to try and find the ruins at Pale Pass before I hired you. They were only able to locate the first of a series of landmarks. These landmarks are mentioned within the diary. The one referred to as Dragon Claw Rock has been located. I'll mark it on your map. The rest is up to you. My scouts reported bitter cold and dangerous creatures in the area, so they couldn't proceed. Be cautious and return home soon. Good luck. The messenger's diary will make a nice companion to the Madstone in my collection. The Madstone awaits, and so does your reward if you retrieve it.
Alright, we got nothing else, so we're gonna bail.
May the path ahead be free of danger.
Oh, I seriously doubt it's gonna be, dear, but thank you. So that's what we're gonna be doing. And the whole dangerous creatures bit, well, in a game like Oblivion or Skyrim or Morrowind or any Bethesda game really, considering how everything likes to be scaled, the phrase dangerous creatures tends to be a bit subjective. It tries not to be.
Have mercy.
Well,
just one coin.
alright, so to the Ural Mountains. Hoo boy. Okay, so we're ultimately heading that way. East-northeast. Watch your feet. Look this up. Alright. Now, luckily, this isn't Skyrim survival mode, otherwise I will probably freeze to death, and I don't want to do that. Playing for fun on my Switch, and it just managed to do just that. Word of warning: if you're playing survival mode and you see it says the air is treacherously cold, find shelter. You will freeze to death if you're out for too long. Okay, well, if nothing else, it's fun to collect items. Okay. Well, it looks like there's a little bit of a break in the mountains there. We're going to try and take advantage of that. Well, still quiet so far. Okay, well, I see something on the compass, a mountain icon, which is, hoping a good sign. Oh, what do we got here?
Yes. Make it quick.
Enough talk.
He seems cheerful. Oh, that sucked. 0 for 3 on the funguses there. I got one there at least. What do we got here? Deer. Yeah, at first I thought they were scamps. We found Dragon Claw Rock. I've arrived at Dragon Claw Rock. I should consult the messenger's diary to learn the way to the next landmark. Alright. Here we are. Day 3. It is with a heavy heart and a trembling hand that I pen this latest entry. It has been several days since I have seen anyone else on the road from our garrison at Grey Ridge. The road is lonely and treacherous. I am rationing my supplies to prepare for a tough path ahead, as long as Raymond Cyrodiil's army hasn't located our headquarters at Pale Pass. The journey should be fairly uneventful. I admit I am nervous. It is an honor to be selected to carry these orders to our fort, but sending me alone is a calculated risk. While it is not my own life I am worried about, it is the importance of the contents of the orders that aggrieves me. If they are somehow lost, the fort will not know that their supplies are going to be delayed by a month. Oof. Without that knowledge, the fort may choose to press the attacks on the front line as their supplies dwindle. They are counting on those supplies to be there sooner. I must not fail getting this message there. The slate rock that the orders have been carved upon for safety weighs me down. It is a constant reminder of the more than physical burden that I carry. Day 7. It has been 2 days and I have finally arrived at Dragonclaw Rock. The huge formation is a welcome and invigorating sight. The giant stone appears to reach down from the north and strike at the heart of Raymond's forces like our armies have been doing for the better part of a year now. I have still encountered no one else on this trail. I hope that as I head due west along the narrow path, I will find someone who can give me some news as to how our men are faring in the war. Day 8. After winding my way westward, I have come within sight of the Sentinel, a huge statue placed there by some unknown artist many years ago. It stands as a painting. It stands watch, pointing north, as if daring anyone to cross the borders into the Imperial nation. Raymond would be quite angry if he knew we used this very statue as a waypoint into his domain. Last night I encountered another of our messengers who had been beset by a pack of mountain wolves. His leg was hurt badly, but I managed to help heal it with an ampoule of medicine I carried with me. He said his name was Silach, and he was on his way from Pale Pass to request more supplies. I discussed with him the irony of our meeting, and he decided to travel with me back to the fort since his mission would be needless. We plan to leave at nightfall. Day 9. I am using much of my remaining strength writing this. As we made our way north from the Sentinel, we were attacked by perhaps the same pack of wolves that had attacked Silach. He had chased them off earlier after being bitten, but now that they had tasted blood, they had returned in greater number. Fighting back to back, Silach and I slew at least 8 of the beasts, but not before one of them clawed my gut and left a terrible wound. We were able to drive them off, but now I am bleeding badly, and the only medicine I had I gave to Silach. We had decided to continue north until we reached the portal to the Serpent's Trail and seek cover inside. I will try to write more soon, but I must sleep. I am so very tired. Day 11. This is the last entry I shall be able to write. We entered the Serpent's Trail nearly a day ago, seeking shelter from the elements and the wolves. What we did not foresee was the creatures that had decided to make the Serpent's Trail their home. I did not see them clearly, but they were huge and strong. Silach died instantly as one of them cleaved off his head with a single stroke. There were 3 of those huge, ugly, man-like creatures. I ran as fast as I dared through the dark tunnels trying to escape. But as I fled, one of them hurled a boulder at me and struck me square in the back. I managed to crawl through a smaller opening and escape the lumbering monsters, but I soon realized that crawling is all I would be able to do. I think the boulder shattered my spine. I can no longer feel my legs. My wound from the wolf attack is reopened and I have lost much blood. I fear that this is as far as I shall be able to go. I have failed my mission. I have been unable to get these orders to the fort at Pale Pass. I am so close, yet it may as well be leagues away since I can no longer walk and my strength is draining. If a fellow messenger or soldier picks up this diary, please get the orders to the fort before it is too late, and please tell my wife, Vata, that Zafari will always love her. Ugh. The brutalities of war. Okay, so we need to head due west. Why don't we save, so we don't have to do all that again. Okay, it's supposed to be a small path west. I'm going to take a wild stab at it and say it's this cave here that we're heading towards. Serpent's Trail. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. We're going to read the diary again. I feel like I missed something here. Okay, this is where he died. Not sure that's what we need to be finding. But we should be looking for a statue called the Sentinel. Alright. Okay, there's the Sentinel. And seeing as how we're only level 7, we got imps. I've reached the second landmark, the Sentinel. I should consult the message's diary. Okay. The third landmark we inadvertently discovered. We did things a little out of order, but that's okay. And we will go back to the cave. Maybe we do need to go in there after all. So I guess we go in there. Alright. I found the third landmark, the Serpent's Trail, which seems to be an underground passage. I'll need to traverse this passage if I'm to find the ruins. Take the rat meat, leave the bone. Whoa!
Ah!
You friggin' kidding me? Well, at least we're healed now. Actually, before we even bother attempting, we're going to save. I only got 10 picks. And I utterly suck at this, so... Oh, that was horrible. Lightfoot boots! Ooh! Ooh! It's heavy armor, though. Damn. That's the sort of thing that might make me want to use heavy armor. Do you want to add Bound Gauntlets to your spell list? Sure. Okay, so that's how you use those. Got it. Alright, let's look at our magic. Don't know why bound gauntlets would be all that useful, but whatever. What was the other spell like? Okay, these are touch spells. Entropic Bolt. Damage health 10 points on target. Well, it's a little better than Flare and Weak Fireball. And we're going to swap out. Okay. Let's look at the map here. Fascinating. Alright, so all I missed was a damn rat. With the trap. So apparently walking into it can still hurt. I've discovered the body of the messenger who penned the diary I've been carrying. Even though he died over 1,000 years ago, the bones have been well preserved by the frost in the caves. He seems to be clutching something in his bony hand. I should investigate. Near the body of the messenger, I've discovered a slate tablet with what appears to be Akaviri writing on its surface. These must be the orders the messenger spoke about in the diary. Well, let's take a look. I mean, I highly doubt I'll be able to read it, because I don't... We're not a scholar. We don't understand Akaviri. Whoa! Ogre! Bite me. Stupid ogre. Well, now that we know what killed him, that sucks. Okay, we'll save again. We'll save again. Gold. Very nice. Let's look back at the map again. Hey! Save again after that fight. Okay, we're gonna save. We're gonna try this one more time. Yeah, see, I suck at this. Alright. Yes, I fully admit we're going to save scum this. Got it. Robe of glib tongues, fortify mercantile 8 points, speechcraft for 8, and personality for 8. Very nice. That will sell well. Okay, we're going to save before we get the drop on this full. A very large carambolette. Alright, we're going to save again. A lot of saves coming. This is going to be a pain in the ass, isn't it? I thought I had a mod that allowed you to bash these things. It's gonna be a pain in my ass, isn't it? Alright, we're gonna come back to this. Alright, looking at the map. Okay, that's kind of obvious now. We'll save after that fight with the wolf. Ah! Whoops. Okay, Honor Blade's in pretty good shape. Yeah. Save again. Okay, so starting to run out of time here. We are running out of time. Alright, so I think we're going to call it here. And next episode, we're going to go through the door and see what lies beyond. Alright, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get the latest and greatest videos as they come in and help this channel grow. This has been Big Dave, the Middle-Aged Gamer. This is Oblivion. I'll see you all next time.